This week on Different Roots Radio, we're joined by Erick, founder of Little Inca, a plant-based super baby food. We discuss how Erick transitioned from a career in insurance to leading a company in the baby food industry. We also talk about sustainability and the ingredients and nutritional changes in baby food since the 1900s. Mention DRR21 for 20% off your purchases and drop us a comment on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. DJ, cue the intro.
Thank you very much for coming into Different Roots Radio, hosted by myself, Dami, and with Timaine. We're joined by the wonderful man of Erick Vera, who is the founder and CEO of Little Inca, starting out from 2018. Before he started on this venture, he was a consultant with LEK Consulting and also graduated from the AMBS, Manchester Business School. Hurrah us, another alum, graduated in 2018. And before that, you were in insurance for 10 years. So Erick, we thank you very much for coming in, and we need to understand how the hell did you get out of insurance to become the guy that's now specializes in baby food? So, quinoa, superfoods, baby food, specializing in gut health and increasing brain development. So,
well, thank you, Amy, for having me. Really appreciate that you can approach. And yeah, certainly it's been an interesting journey, and all this started back in 2013 actually. So I've been working in insurance all my life, and basically I started doing my own business in 2009. I had a restaurant in Colombia actually. So that time I was working in insurance. A friend of mine, he's a chef, so I went to this place. It's in Cartagena, Colombia. It's a beautiful place. So I really like it to develop, food products and to have a restaurant specializing in the Peruvian food, which was very popular at that time. So yeah, basically after a few months, we decided to have a restaurant there. And as many business, I was so excited. And then the journey started for some reason, and then I put all my money there that I have, all my savings. I got different loans. I tried to contact different investors as well, and we launched it in 2010. But unfortunately, I was working at that time in insurance, so that was my other business. So actually, I was traveling to Colombia, the weekends. So in a month, I was like working full-time job in Peru and then traveling to Colombia. So it was like that back and forth until we decided to close it, because it was very difficult to manage a business if you're not there. It's very simple it's a regular, law for business. You need to be there. If you want to do business, you need to be there. But at that time, I was learning a learning process, and I think the experience that I gained there really helped me to develop like a roadmap for the new thing that I want to develop. And then moving forward, 1 year later, it's like I was still working insurance, and my dad, his family has a land in the south of Peru, very beautiful. It's in the Andes, the mountains. We had horses, cows there, and it's a beautiful farm. So, and then basically I started to study. Okay, I have this beautiful land there for my family, and it's there. What should I do? And I think that question for me was critical, because I didn't have the answer. And I found, fortunately, that all these organic products since 2008 or 2007 started to grow more than 10%, even though after the financial crisis, all these organic products, especially in the US, Europe, Australia, Canada. So I thought this must be a mistake, because the whole world, we got a crisis, the financial crisis 2009. And then I did a breakdown, what products are having the best, rates. And then when I found quinoa, which is a product that I used to eat all the time. And in Peru, it was very common, especially in the Andes, but not much in the capital. So then after that research, I instantly called my dad and said, that can we produce quinoa? I said, well, we had that, but we never grew, and definitely we need, people that know exactly how to grow this. We need engineers, we need to analyze the soil, we need to certify. So it was a lot of things to do. So luckily, I met a great exporter, and at that time he was the third best export quinoa company in Peru. And I spoke with him and said, okay, I will help you. And then the coincidence happens sometimes. And in 2013, turns out that it was the International Year of Quinoa declared for the World Organization for the United Nations. So they make a report. And in the report said, okay, if we compare quinoa with other grains, quinoa has the outstanding nutritional value. So for that report, quinoa becomes so popular since 2013, and turns out that my harvest was in 2013. So it was crazy. I got around 250% profit just doing the harvesting from the crop to put in a bag.
But when you started with growing, did you know what you wanted to do with all the quinoa when you actually grew it? Did you have an idea, or did you want to sell it wholesale, or what do you think you sell it for, as it is?
Very interesting question. I think the reason for that was when I was doing all this selling process, and I found this demand and supply, and then turns out that year was amazing, right? 2013, 2014, great year for quinoa. And then when something is going well, and it was the problem of the government in Peru, actually in most of the South America countries, is that they didn't plan enough the offer and demand. Because it was the market, they were crazy about quinoa. People actually in the land in the south of Peru, people go with a case with, I don't know, $500,000 to buy directly from the farmer because there is not enough supply of quinoa. So I contacted one farmer, and that farmer was an old farmer and didn't have access to all this new market. They pay him like a lot of thousands. It was the first time that he received that amount of money, and they were starting to cry. So then I saw this is really interesting, with not little effort, but take me quite more time, to connect, but the power of connection, and how you can build a good network and help families and help communities. So for me, that was, wow, this is really powerful. But how I can scale this?
It's even a product that's an essential, right? So like with baby food, like in regardless of recession or, cost prices up and down, people have to eat. People have to medicine. People have to go out to these different suppliers that are able to give them that. And because, there's that saying, there's two things guaranteed in life, death and taxes, right? But also with death, there's also rebirth and new children. And there's, people need to feed their babies, right? So
exactly. So, but before to get to the baby food market, at that time it's okay, I need to develop a great product, using quinoa. But what product should I do? And then is when I started to do even more research, and that was the challenge. What product will be a really good one? I don't know. I don't have any idea. So then I started to do, for example, quinoa oil. So I hired a professor from the university. But at that time I was working in insurance, So that was my main full-time job. And I was finding time, lunchtime, I jumped to my meetings, after work, weekends. So I tried to manage to balance the time. It was difficult. It was very, very difficult, to be honest. And then when I did the trials of quinoa oil, of course, the quinoa is a small grain, right? You can have too much oil. So it was like a trial and error. And then one day, okay, where people go to buy. Okay, people go to buy to the supermarket. Okay, so let's go to the supermarket. So then I started walking, and I spent hours, 3 hours in the supermarket, and just see people how to buy. And then for me, one of the things was very interesting is when suddenly I arrived to the baby aisle. So I arrived there, and then I saw parents, look all the products, and then saying like, moving the head, no, no, this one, no, why? So I approached to him, why? Sorry, but I saw you how your purchasing behavior, but why you don't buy these products? Why you say no? I said, no, it's the same. Ah, okay. Oh, thank you. And then so, you know what? Quinoa for babies. I think that will be different. And then to be honest, I become quite crazy. I went back home. I spoke with my parents, and then let's cook different products with quinoa. What we can do? And my mom said, okay, let's do tomorrow. No, I need to do now. There is no time. Let's do now. And my dad, he's a chemical engineer, so he knows how to formulate. So we started building the formulas in my kitchen with my parents. And then we started doing, for example, avocado with quinoa, with asparagus, with spinach, for example, adding vegetables, because most of the product that I saw in the market in Peru, first of all, wasn't organic. They have sugar, which is a problem for babies. Basically, they are mainly fruits. So I really want to develop good products, and I knew I did a research that quinoa is really good for babies, and the main reason for that is because it has a good content of fiber, and it's a complete protein, and protein is really good for babies, and fiber helps to nurture the gut microbiome for babies, and especially in the early days is very, very important. So then we went to a small events in Peru for parents. And that was funny because we started cooking the day before with my family, my mom, my dad, my sister. We were cooking, all of us, in small cups, putting organic. I printing a banner, the quinoa benefits. I went to the event, and until 1 p.m., I sold out all the products. And then I called my mom, I need to prepare more. I don't have more products for the afternoon. So my mom came with the bags, with my dad. And then for me, it was a really interesting idea. And most of the parents told me, okay, where I can find this product? And then I saw, well, but how I can do this product? It's so difficult because first of all, it's for babies. Second, the regulations for babies.
I was ask if you first I was asked how you made it, but you said your father's a chemical engineer, which is,
and then some home brewing with his mom, some formula mixing,
some Breaking Bad in the kitchen.
More like Lex's laboratory.
Lex's laboratory. Wow, that's a great.
Yeah.
Once you mix it together, did you go on flavor, and then like how do you? Because I know you want to do everything good for the environment and natural, so preservatives in baby food, and then also the regulations and laws, and how do you know who to go to ask for a license for this product? Where did you?
So that's a good question. I didn't have any idea, to be honest. I knew that, of course, the regulation, all this stuff, but the detail, it's very difficult to know because in Peru, we at the moment, we don't have a factory that can produce this. I know there is another in other countries, but definitely everyone knows that the food source, the quality of the ingredients, the accreditations, the certifications is very well known that Europe has a really, really good, outstanding quality food. So that's by law. So, and then, okay, so I should go there then to have the product. So I need to have the factory in Europe then. Yeah, but it's not as simple like that. Okay, but how I need to go there? And then is when this is a good idea. I was thinking before to study the MBA, to study abroad. And then it's when, okay, so I need to study abroad then. So if I want to, because I did like a roadmap. So that was back in 2015 or 2014. I said, okay, what should I do? And then basically I wrote a letter to myself and say, okay, what do you want? This is like you're 30, you have this like a quite crisis. Okay, what I want? Really, what do you want? Forget about the money. So what do you want? I said, oh, it would be great to travel a lot. Amazing to have my own company abroad. and share the culture, share, the origins, because we provide excellent food and people need to know about this. But how I can do that? And then it's okay, I need to study this. I need to do a study abroad, so maybe I can have the chance to, if things were well, to have this approach and maybe find a way to get into this. So, and that's what I decided to study my MBA. Luckily, I got the entrepreneurship scholarship. As soon as I got it, I spoke with my boss, and then I quit my job. And then, since as soon as I arrived here in the UK, the first thing that I did, I visited all the supermarkets here. I went to all the supermarkets. I visit them, and then things started to work, and then I met more people on the way, and then I got this venture award, the venture further award as well, and then I got the entrepreneurship visa as well to help me to continue doing the business. And then late 2018, I got the first investment from a Peruvian investor, actually, to start the idea, to start the business. And then April next year, 2019, I got another investment from a UK investor who has he's one of the top 100 fast track record company in the UK, actually. He really supports the brand and the strategy. It's really, really interesting to speak with him all the time. And then we launched, we finished production late 2019, and then everything was ready to launch. And then we have some logistic issues to bring the products here to the UK. Then we secured 2 listings with 2 distributors for the whole UK market. And then the COVID came.
Getting into superfoods or nutrition of superfoods, I already know that with baby industry foods, the highest category is milk or formula food, followed by prepared food, then dry food, and other foods. So what is it that Little Inca right now specializes in? Do you guys just do the prepared food, and will you diversify your portfolio, so to speak?
So at the moment we're working on prepared food. This is our main category, prepared baby food. So this is mainly doing different type of purees or mixing the puree with other ready-to-eat meals. But we're focused on that because we think that formulas there is a quite established market, and there are plenty of very dominant players there. So that's why that in the category of the prepared baby food and other baby food, I think is the part that we see more value there.
Yeah. So like prepared foods, other competitors such as Gerber, Earth's Best, and even Heinz is in the baby food.
Heinz is in everything.
Yeah, they own the product. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then even yet, so now, because I'm recently been blessed as an uncle, just got myself a brand new nephew. Due to my hard work.
You're a great uncle, Dami.
Well, I am a great uncle.
They say it changes you becoming an uncle.
Oh, thank you. So hopefully,
well done.
The reason why I'm asking is that, what is your advice for even figuring out what is like nutritious foods for a child? Because I know we need to have iron. Babies need to have iron, omega-3, different vitamins, vitamin A and D, particularly. So what is it I'm supposed to look out for to know this is a good food for my nephew and other people's babies out there?
And what you shouldn't look for, like what shouldn't be like the stuff that's bad for babies that you might
because funny you say that is because back in the day, did you know it was advised that fruit and vegetables were not supposed to be fed to infants. This was like back in the 1900s.
So would they give them meat?
Oh, they just said like
you can't eat anything else.
was liver soup.
Liver soup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's so meat kind of. Yes.
Kind of meat.
Yeah.
Well, actually, this is a really interesting question because we're working now with we have a very interesting science team, and one of part of the team did life science in Harvard, and we have another person that is focused on food engineering. So the formula that we build is focused on gut health. So what that means exactly is that the first 1,000 days of the babies is very critical. And it's critical because it's the formation of the gut microbiome. It's like you have the garden, let's say, in your gut. And this is very important because it's the connection between your gut and your brain, is how you build your immune system. So they need to be nurtured in a proper way. So of course, products that have other sugar is not good because that damages the gut microbiome. It is how you feed your gut microbiome. But if you have products that good prebiotic, like a good prebiotic fiber that will nurture, in the science say that if you eat 30 type of variety of vegetables, especially plant-based, it's really helped to nurture your gut in the first 1,000 days. And that's the main reason why in all our formulas, we have a minimum of 6 ingredients. It's a rainbow of ingredients. It's very colorful. We have, for example, a product have strawberry, blueberry, spinach, apple, and the main ingredient, quinoa, because first of all, protein is very important for the baby, and quinoa is proven to have a complete protein. So what means complete protein is to have the 9 essential amino acids. So that's very difficult to get, and if you compare other grains, they are lack of the composition of the protein, and that's one of the major things that's why we selected those type of ingredients, and that's why we selected this variety of vegetables and fruits, because sometimes the baby needs a day 21 kind of grams of sugar. Of course, natural sugar is way better, but even if you add more sugar, that's one of the issues. So that's why our product, we have this selection, and that will be good for babies.
It sounds pretty good, but what if adults eat it? Because I'm thinking I need to get my vegetables. Can I eat this?
To me, you know what you just said? You said, I steal food out of little babies' mouths.
No, but
that's what you're saying right now.
It's good for the babies. It's probably good for me.
You probably take their candy too. Are you the candy man?
I want that good protein. Why should the babies get all the good stuff?
That's a really good comment, because actually most of my friends, even myself, I eat as well that, because it's tasty. And one of the good things is that our sugar content is quite low. So the breast milk is 7 grams of sugar. So our sugar content in our products is similar to the breast milk. So that was one of the key to select why we need to use sugar. So we're trying even to reduce a bit more sugar, because we know that this is good. We're talking, of course, natural sugar, but of course you can find on the market brands that they have 16, 17 grams of sugar. And if the baby needs to eat a day 21, it's like in 100 grams, you're consuming all your sugar in a day. So that's one of our USP as well, to have that. But I have friends, even myself. I buy it for myself as well.
Yeah. So if you're working out, it might be good for you if you're doing exercise.
Yeah. I mean, it's of course.
Don't steal my nephew's food, man.
We'll get some for your nephew.
He's the next Kobe.
I'll try it to make sure it's good. So I'll try it first, and then we can give it to your nephew.
Okay. Yeah, you can try it, definitely, and it's very tasty.
But for for marketing, normally you're looking at it's like consumer. You either market to the consumer or to the customer, and obviously the baby's the consumer, so you can't really market to the baby. So do you normally target like parents? Where do you advertise? How do you advertise? And also for people who are like getting started they have a new product, a food product. You're in like all the big places, Whole Foods, Holland and Barrett. How did you get like end up working with Whole Foods and Holland and Barrett? And do they help you with your marketing as well? Yeah, or do you have your own marketing strategy separate?
So actually, the marketing strategy we launched it last year, and of course, COVID was very difficult moment, because as a new brand, we launched it the 2nd of March. And we started with 15 followers. And the main question is, okay, what I need to know and what I need to do that my brand, can people know that Little Inca exists on the market. And that was the major question. And basically, it was working directly with parents. So what the strategy that actually we approached was to reach moms, genuine moms that have quite good amount of followers, but not like this big influencer that have, I don't know, 100,000. No, it's like a small moms. Moms have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. and we tell them, look, I can give you my product for free. Please try it. Give me your feedback. If you think that this is good for you, it's good for your baby, please, it would be great that you can do a story on Instagram, social media. Please do a nice post and support our brand and share it. So that's how it started. And then the mom replied to me and said, Eric, I really like it. I didn't see any quinoa products on the market. And then this man talked to another mom, this man, another man. And suddenly I started with 5 moms influencers. And now we got a list of 100 moms. And basically it was reaching one by one to them, and sharing and giving the product. So that was my marketing budget, actually. The cost of my product given to them. And then, of course, later we did other marketing activities, but the mainly was reaching directly moms on social media, and they were sharing, why Little Inca is good for them. And one of the major things was that our products, we are free of 14 allergens. So that's another major concern for parents, because the babies, they have allergens, and it's different. And quinoa is dairy free. That's why it's another reason why we selected quinoa. And I spoke with so many moms, and the moms told me, Eric, I have problem with my baby. They don't want to eat, but I gave you your product because I didn't find in the market dairy free. Most of the products, they have dairy, and you have quinoa. I gave to my baby. So that was a really good reason to do marketing activities.
Little Inca, you guys care a lot about keeping the planet green, or making the planet greener and being renewable. And you have bio-based pouches, which are made from 80% plants. Are they like fully biodegradable, or are they 80% biodegradable? And how do you go about finding like a supplier to help you make?
Are you afraid of finding pouches in the lanyard or the landfill, or what?
The pouch is going to end up in with the dolphins in the ocean, or they biodegradable.
You watch one documentary, and now you're all about. Oh my God!
I was in the supermarket today. I wanted to buy fish, and I was like, nope, not going to support. They're killing our oceans. So I didn't buy fish. I bought the turkey burger instead.
All right.
So yeah. No, that's a really great comment. Basically, our pouch is, the carbon footprint is 80% less than any other product that produced with plastic, for example. So that was one of the major reasons, because that protects the environment, protects it's less transport, because the ingredient that we source is near the factory. So there is not, except with quinoa and banana, that mainly came from South America, but the rest of the ingredients is very near the location. So that really helps for the environment and the carbon footprint. And of course, the UK government is working really hard that all the single packaging can be recyclable. And that's why having this type of new material, it can really help to get that. For example, now we are changing new packaging, which is the paper pouch, which has a paper, but we don't use aluminum, for example. So the next launch will be this new type of packaging, and this is really good because it can be fully recyclable as well. And that's why we're launching in other regions. But yeah, definitely our major concern is the environment. That's why we selected this type of material that can protect, that can reduce the carbon footprint. And that was one of our core in also the selection of the ingredients. So selection of the ingredients is critical, because it's even if you have a less transport, you have a better taste of the ingredients. So that's another part how we selected.
Assuming like the shelf life is also going to be affected by that too, right? So
yeah, exactly.
So what is like the shelf life now for foods? Because I know some foods, they can last for like a few months to upwards for a year plus. But if it's really fresh and,
not normally, because this process that we don't use any artificial ingredients, is all natural. And of course we have a advanced food process that's why we produce in Europe. Normally the period of the shelf life between 6 to 10, 11 months. So it is quite reasonable period of time of the product. And the reason why we prefer to have this type of shelf life is because the product can maintain, even though you take out of the fridge and you eat in, product can maintain over the time. It helps as well to storage, and also help for reduce waste, because if you have the product that is 100 grams, yeah, you can eat just that amount, and instead to buy different type of raw vegetables to produce and to do it, especially for busy parents. So it certainly helps, to reduce weight in a sense.
And real quick, sorry, T. Like this has come a long way. Like baby food has come a long ways from what was included to what is now included. Like there was a point even from 1950 to 1970 where they had guess what? MSG was actually included in baby food.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. We used to give them, like, the baby had a toothache or they wouldn't sleep, they just give them like a little bit of whiskey. Like
exactly.
Yeah,
That tells a lot about you today.
That's why I like tequila. My parents were like, have some tequila, go to bed. No, yeah, that's what they did. They used to give them like a little drop of whiskey on their tongue, and then the baby would just go to sleep. Or if they had a cough, so yeah, a lot of things used to be. Cigarettes used to be healthy, to be fair. So according to the companies, you could smoke when you were pregnant back in the day. So times changed.
Yeah,
times changed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Speaking of changing times, I saw that you guys use renewable energy sources to make your
yes. So the factory, actually, they got these huge solar panels. One of the major productions that we got, actually the last production, yeah, they use mainly solar panels, and that really helps in terms of the carbon footprint. That's why now the project that we're working is calculating actually our carbon footprint per product. So in order to improve and continue improving, and to even reduce the carbon footprint, that's one of the goals that is in the pipeline.
Do you know a lot about renewable energy?
Yeah.
I know a lot about everything, but do you know in the world or the UK? I'll give you two choices. What are the top three sources of renewable energy?
Wind is one.
Wind is one.
Yeah, the wind,
solar.
Yeah. Wind, solar.
Yeah, wind, solar, and what is the other one?
Yeah.
So wind, solar, and probably like water, hydro.
I was like, if you say water on this podcast, better make sure it's hydro. Yeah, hydro. Yeah, you guys are completely right. The first one is wind and hydro, 35% each, and then 13% is solar in the world, and 8% is biofuels, and then the remaining is just like other renewable sources, like farm methane and things. But yeah, it's crazy that like more in 2020, in the lockdown as well, all the fuel energy consumption, like the demand for energy went down, but the demand for renewable energy went up. So it's really good that you guys are using solar energy, and you're at the forefront of trying to change the world, because a lot of companies are there's more demand for renewable energy, and solar power is very rare. So how did you get into solar power rather than wind? Was it just easier and was already set up?
Yeah, when we started, finding factories where to produce, that was one of our major elements. That the factory itself, they have type of sustainable sources, energy. Fortunately, one of the factories, they got that support. So yeah, and then we decided, to sign the contract with them and start working on the formula with them. And yeah, I think that was a really good implementation that the factory did, actually. And now most of the parents, they are very focused on the environment. That's where we did a segmentation, and one of our client segmentation that we did is parents that are focused on the environment, because they are very, very carefully about that, especially here in Europe. So that's why we seen that we tick the box on that as well. And now in the pipeline, we want to even change new materials. So this is the new thing that is coming.
Where's the factory based?
We produce in Italy.
Italy. I was going to say, I know you said based in Europe, all right, there's no way you can have a solar panel in England, because You'll work for like 2-3 months a year, and then the rest of the year, sorry, there's nothing in the factory. We have no electricity. We have no power. Come back in the summer next year.
Sold out. No, we really love this part of Italy because it's in the center, it's near to all the farms there. So that's why the transport is less, because most of the raw materials came from there, and the factory, they process the raw materials, and then we work on the final product. So we see the whole supply chain, in very, very interesting way. So that certainly helped us, and that's one of our USP that we produce here in the UK. Sorry, in Italy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys do production out in Central America, and you also do production here in Europe. Is that correct?
No, only here in Europe. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened to the land in Peru where you first started? With
Mr. 50 acres.
Yeah, the acres and the llamas countryside.
So we still have the land, of course, but we started producing quinoa, but because all the raw materials, all the prices were very volatile. So in order to survive, you need to have a very, very massive hectares. Like you're talking about more than 200 hectares. But however, the whole idea to build this project and to build a business was, once we reach a good levels, good volumes of sales, the idea is to back the farm and hopefully start to producing again, start to be self-funding of certain type of ingredients and support communities. So that's the new project that is coming, actually. So we are working now in a budget to work it out.
Will it be different crops?
Will be different crops.
See, that's agriculture life. You guys are always diversifying. They're like, oh, this isn't making money anymore. Change it up. We're growing strawberries now. We're like,
next season, next product.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. So the idea is to produce our own ingredients and to send to the because I think it's very important to back to the origins, and because I know that there are some farmers that they struggle. But if we have like a good way to be on the market and hopefully to continue growing, we can reach some type of level that, okay, it would be good to produce our own ingredients, and maybe we can innovate. We can produce certain type of ingredients that any other brand can do. And the way why we can do is because we have the source, we have the land, we have the environment that we can do. But of course, it's not easy. It's a process. But hopefully this can be done in the, not sure this year, but hopefully next one. Yeah,
the near future. Come into a shop near
to a Holland Barrett near you. With your last, just to wrap up, you started out as an insurance broker or in insurance, and then you put loads of money into like a restaurant and it didn't work out, so you lost loads of money, but that's fine. Then you went to Peru and you started doing this, looking at wholesale quinoa farming and other things. And then you saw the opportunity in Europe, and now you've got your company, Little Inca, in Europe. And you're already looking at another thing in Peru. Do you feel that now you have all the passion that you were looking for? Or do you think like now you're just getting started and you're going to look for like more companies, more opportunities, more businesses? Or do you feel like you just want to focus on Little Inca and growing that and diversifying that? Well, what's next on in your 5-year plan?
Well, actually, it's quite challenging to say, because I think I didn't get the top level, or I don't know what is the top level actually, because it's like every day something new, and I think luckily the passion came every day, and of course the goal will be, because to build this company and to develop more products, to diversify of the range of products, that will be really interesting to do, and hopefully to maintain this passion and happiness, because of course there is a lot of up and down on the way. I would say more down than up. That's how it is. It's very difficult, especially in this situation. The COVID, it was so unpredictable. But hopefully we have I think a really, really good team that support us. And if I can do this every day and because that will depend always on how the company grows and how much market we can get and how more listing we can get, and if we can grow our online market or everything. Of course, the goal will be to continue doing that and reach more places. Yeah.
Great.
Nice. So the future, good luck, and the future is bright, and hopefully be able to capture the market and be a market leader in baby foods, super baby foods.
We support all businesses that started in COVID because it's just such a tough time to start a company. And you said in March, and it's when you say there's a lot of ups and downs in this entrepreneur's life, a lot of downs, but
we know it.
We keep going. We move.
All right, thank you a lot, Erick, for coming in. We really appreciate you spending some time with us. Now, if you're able to speak for yourself to budding entrepreneurs who are hoping to get into your industry, and what would those words of wisdom be to them?
Well, thank you. So basically, I will say that if you have an idea and you can't stop thinking about that, and it's difficult, not to do it. I think probably you have something and you believe in something, and I think that's a bless. If you feel that you have the potential to do it, and I would say go for it. And the worst thing that can happen is that everything will go wrong. So but then you will be more prepared for the next run, and even if the next one don't go as you wanted, it will be other chance. But I think for me, what I learned until now, and I think I need to learn even more stuff, is like you never know when things will happen and when that will happen. So that will be my advice.
Thank you very much, Erick. Really appreciate it. And hopefully people are able to find a passion, keep pushing through, and try again until they get it right. And if all fails, just eat more baby food. It'll increase your gut health and your baby,
that's
your brain
development and your immune system. So you're good to go.
So how are people able to get in touch with you or Little Inca? Or what are you?
Well, they can find me in our website, littleinca.com. We have our social channel. You can go to Instagram, Little Inca Smart Food. You can go there. If you want to the stores, you can find us on Whole Foods. You want to go online, go Amazon, Holland & Barrett, and we are in several independent stores across the UK. So, and then soon we will launch in Germany in the next few weeks. We will be in the third largest retailer in Germany. We just got an agreement. So we will work on the launch. So you can, if you're in Germany, you can find us there as well.
Fantastic.
All right. Thanks a lot, Erick. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be able to get in touch and taste some baby food enough.
I'll take some baby food from Dammy's nephew. It's all good.
Hey, I love that guy. Leave him alone, man. I'll fight you for him. I'm willing to die for my nephew.
Once I have some of that baby, I'll beat you up.
All right.
Have a great weekend. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to hit the like button to subscribe to Different Roots Radio on YouTube, Twitter, and all audio listening channels. Our talks air every other Monday. One love.